Hello friends, this is Mr. Ravindra Tajne. Welcome to our YouTube channel as Ravi Taj Online Banking Academy. Today we are discussing very important topic which is important for comprehensions or how to solve a passage as a section. In our lecture number 1 and 2, we have discussed what is assumption and what is conclusion. That is difference between assumptions and conclusion. I request you kindly listen this video also for more approach towards comprehension section is concerned. Before moving ahead, I would like to request you also kindly subscribe our channel as Ravi Taj Online Banking Academy for new updates of UPSC examinations, banking examinations and Staff Selection Commission examinations. My dear friends, this topic is basically famous or asked in UPSC examinations also, as well as banking examinations also, or Staff Selection Commission exams also. Basically, presently, UPSC is asking questions on comprehensions. Accordingly, read a passage and which assumption is most valid, or read a passage which conclusion is most valid, and which central theme can be drawn from the passage, which crucial message can be drawn from the passage. So, my dear friends, I would like to request you kindly listen this video till last for more approach of comprehension sections and for getting highest accuracy in passage sections with the speed and accuracy. So let's start our today's lecture, my dear friends. So basically, for solving any passage, there are 3 standard techniques. Most of the students are knowing only technique number 1, but dear friends, for solving any type of passage, we have 3 standard techniques. Listen very carefully. For solving any type of passage, we have 3 standard technique. Technique number 1 or method number 1, answers can be drawn directly from the passage. Technique number 2, answers can be drawn indirectly from the passage with author's point of view. And method number 3, answer can be drawn with the keywords of the passage. Listen very carefully. Actually, before going ahead, if you define comprehension, or if you want to define a term as a comprehension, so basically to comprehend means what? To understand fully. Okay, to comprehend means what? To understand fully. And accordingly, there are 3 ways of solving any type of passage. Basically, author is putting facts in the passage and which we can answer directly by reading directly from the passage. And second method is also, that is very proper, very important, that answers can be drawn indirectly with the tones of authors also. Most of the students are knowing only first method, and that's why we are not getting 100% accuracy as far as comprehension sections is concerned in many of the examinations. So let's start our methods of solving the passage, my dear friends. Suppose method number 1 is answer can be drawn directly from the passage. Now what is this method? Let us understand very simple way. Don't get confused. Okay, we are solving everything with very proper way and with highest accuracy. So listen very carefully this video till last for getting more accuracy towards comprehension section is concerned. So my dear friends, in the first method, that is answer can be drawn directly from the passage, what we are doing over here? Okay, simple way. What we are doing, we are matching the fact of question with the fact of passage. Listen very carefully. We are matching the fact of question with respect to fact of passage, and if both facts are matched as it is, listen very carefully, if both facts are matched as it is, then we say inference is definitely true or definitely false. Means if both facts are matched as it is, then we say inference is definitely true. And if both facts are not matched as it is, then we say inference is definitely false. Okay, suppose let us go for very simple passage for understanding this very simple passage. So I read first passage. Actually, we are going to take our second lecture also, or second, we are putting second video also on how to read a passage. Means how to go for skimming and skipping of the facts in the passage. This is also important lecture. So I request you, when I put this second video, listen this video also for reading how to read a passage in a proper way. Okay. So let's start my dear friends, method number 1. Suppose I read a passage first. The Union government has announced golden handshake scheme for reducing size of bureaucracy. This is sentence number 1. The plan is being formulated in the context of policy decision that no government employee would be retrenched as a result of golden handshake scheme. So this is our passage. My dear friends, in the first method, actually questions can be set in the concept base or factual base or data base. Suppose in simple way, I ask very simple question on, suppose passage number 1, who has launched the scheme? So our answer must be Union government. Our answer must be union government. Okay. Suppose if I ask you what is the name of the scheme, our answer must be golden handshake scheme. Our answer must be golden handshake scheme. And suppose third question, if I ask you, my dear friends, what is the purpose of the scheme, then our answer must be reductions of size of bureaucracy. So फर्स्ट लाइन के ऊपर माय डियर फ्रेंड्स यहाँ पे तीन तरीके के से क्वेश्चन ऑथर पूछ सकते हैं. व्हाट इज द नेम ऑफ द स्कीम? सपोज गोल्डन हैंडशेक स्कीम. हु हैज लॉन्च द स्कीम? दैट इज यूनियन गवर्नमेंट और सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट. एंड व्हाट इज द पर्पज ऑफ द स्कीम? देन आवर आंसर मस्ट बी रिडक्शंस ऑफ साइज ऑफ ब्यूरोक्रेसी. सपोज आपको मैं सेकंड तरीके से क्वेश्चन यहाँ पे पूछ रहा हूँ. माय डियर फ्रेंड्स लिसन केयरफुली. Suppose many government employees would be retrenched as a result of golden handshake scheme. So we have underlined the fact very minutely and properly, that is no government employee would be retrenched as a result of golden handshake scheme. Okay. Actually when we read a passage we have to read like a detective. The words like so, hence, therefore, it proves that, it means that, it suggests that, it infer that. These words are developing a conclusion. Means whatever come after that, it is very important for all of us. Means we should double underline the word as that, and here question can be said. So I put my second video also, how to read a passage, means skimming and skipping techniques when we read a passage. So that is very important keyword for me, where question can be said, my dear friends. And question obviously said there itself, that question I ask you, many government employees would be retrenched as a result of golden handshake scheme. And simply वहाँ पे ही क्वेश्चन बन गया my dear friends, that fact of passage is given to you, no government employee would be retrenched as a result of GHS or golden handshake scheme. Means as both facts are opposite, means fact of question and fact of passage is opposite, simply my dear friend this inference is definitely false, or this conclusion is definitely false. मीन्स सिंपल वे माय डियर फ्रेंड्स, यहाँ पे हम सिंपल टेक्निक फॉलो करते हैं. डोंट गेट कंफ्यूज. वी आर मैचिंग द फैक्ट ऑफ क्वेश्चन with respect to fact of passage. If both facts are matched as it is, then inference or conclusion is definitely true. And if both facts are not matched as it is, then inference is definitely false. Normally this technique we can apply for data given passage or descriptive passage or analytical passage. We'll have separate discussions on these types of passage also later on. So let us come to second method, that is method number 2. Dear friend, this method is actually not known to many people, and students are confusing accordingly solving the passage. Many students are solving only by technique number 1, that is we are just trying to match the facts, and accordingly we are having wrong answers in our examinations. So my dear friends, answers can be drawn indirectly from the passage also. Means here author is not giving you concepts always or facts always or data always. We have to go with the assumptions in the point of author or with the tone of author. And accordingly, new formula or new concept to be developed, that is premise plus assumption is equal to conclusion. Listen very carefully. That's why I told you, listen our lecture number 1 and 2 or video number 1 and 2 for more updates of assumptions and conclusion. Accordingly, we can understand what is premise, what is assumption, and what is conclusion. Here author will not give you facts. Suppose let us consider very simple passage, that is all countries are having large population have given priority to family planning. Very simple passage. All countries who are having large population have given priority to family planning. And if accordingly I ask you question, suppose say China has given priority to family planning. Now students get confused because China word is not given in the passage. China word is not, name of the country is not given in the passage, and that's why new concept you have to understand, that is premise plus assumption is equal to conclusion. My dear friends, what is premise? Actually premise is nothing but first fact of the passage or the first part of the passage. First fact given in the passage, that this is premise. This is premise, that is all countries are having large population. This is our premise or fact given in the passage. This is your premise, my dear friends. Accordingly author told you, my dear reader, try to go for assumption with my point of view. Means you have to find such countries where we have large population. And my dear friends, accordingly our assumption can be developed. Assumption is not given in the passage. We have to assume with author's point of view. And accordingly assumption is to be developed. India or China are having large population. And with this assumption, we can safely conclude that if China has given priority to family planning, this inference is indirectly true and obviously definitely true. Listen very, very carefully, because as our assumption is correct, then our conclusions are also correct. Means simply, my dear friends, assumption is link between premise and a conclusion. Always remember, assumption is link between premise and a conclusion. Now, what is assumption? What is assumption? Actually, assumption can be safely defined as something assumed, something supposed, and something taken for granted with respect to author's point of view. Not your point of view, not my point of view, with author's point of view. And that's why we have to assume accordingly. India and China are having large population, and that's why we have safely conclude China has given priority to family planning. This inference is obviously not directly true, it is indirectly true, because fact is not given in the passage, or the word China, name of the country, is not given in the passage. Actually, my dear friends, in method number 2, this method is very, very crucial and important for many types of the passage where hidden tone is developed or where assumptions are developed. Actually, in any type of passage, we can develop 5 answer options. Listen very, very carefully. Actually, most of the students are knowing only 2 answer options can be developed, true or false, and accordingly our answers are wrong. My dear friends, for solving any type of passage, we have 5 answer options basically. That inference is definitely true. Second option is inference is probably true. Inference is definitely false. Then fourth option is inference is probably false and data inadequate. My dear friends, if you solve any passage with 5 answer options, that is definitely true, probably true, definitely false, probably false, or say data inadequate, then we can safely answer true or false in examination. Means आपको assumption कहाँ तक लेके जाना है आपको समझना पड़ेगा, and that is nothing but, my dear friends, that is probably true or probably false. And accordingly, if you solve this any passage with 5 answer options, then we can have answers very safely true or false under the indirectly drawn from the passage. Don't get confused, we can have separate video for these 5 answer options, because in only single video or single lecture we can't have detailed discussions of solving the passage. I'm trying my best by 3 standard techniques and by considering very simple passage initially. So new formula we have understood, or new concept we have, formula word it is not properly to be suitable, so we can have separate word as a concept to be developed, that is P plus A is equal to C, that is premise plus assumption is equal to conclusion, when we have to go for answers indirectly drawn from the passage. Okay, now come to, my dear friends, third part of solving the passage, that is answers can be drawn with the keywords of the passage. Now every passage don't give you as a fact, every passage don't give you data, every passage don't want to pass a assumption or message or idea to the readers. So my dear friends, यहाँ पे आपको third method भी use करनी पड़ेगी, that is answer can be drawn with the keywords of the passage. Means keyword will given by author to you. Okay, suppose I use very simple statement over here, all students are clever. My dear friends, if I am saying all students are clever, we can simply infer or we can simply conclude, because if all will be true, then I can simply conclude some students are clever. Means if all yes or P will be true, then we can simply say some yes or P will be true. Actually, we are also putting separate video for understanding the keywords of the passage. Means all are having parallel words like every, any, each. If every word will be given in the passage, every, any, each word will be given in the passage are having parallel tone as a all. Suppose the keywords like generally, randomly, rarely, frequently word will be given in the passage are having parallel to some. Means if I am saying generally girls are short tempered, we are taking example, my dear friends, then you can simply say conclude as some girls are short tempered. Then suppose no SRP is having parallel keywords. No is having parallel keywords are not a single, none, no one. Means you have to understand, my dear friends, if I am saying not a single student is present, accordingly we can safely conclude no student is present. Means these are the keywords we should remember when we are solving the passage. And third keyword, suppose almost not, many not, having parallel meaning as some not. Okay, so we can have separate lecture on these keywords of the passage for solving better understanding and with good accuracy. So my dear friends, to conclude within our today's short video, that answers can be drawn from the passage with 3 standard techniques to conclude with. That is, first method, my dear friends, that is answer can be drawn directly from the passage. Here we are trying to matching the fact of question, listen carefully, fact of question with respect to fact of passage. Both facts are match as it is, then inference is definitely true. If both facts are opposite, inference is definitely false. Then second method, my dear friends, answer can be drawn indirectly from the passage, because here author is want to passing a message, suppose idea or purpose to the readers, and accordingly we have to go for assumption with respect to author's point of view. यहाँ पे आपको fact match नहीं होगी, and that's why you have to develop new concept or new suppose approach, that is premise plus assumption is equal to conclusion. If our assumptions are correct, then our answers are correct. Okay, so we have to go for safe assumption with respect to author's point of view, and then we can go for good conclusions or highest accuracy in the passage. And accordingly, my dear friends, third method, that is answer can be drawn answer can be drawn with the keywords of the passage. That is, author will not give here data or assumptions. We have to go for understanding the meaning of the keywords. That is, all some infer कर सकते हैं. Okay, accordingly we can have separate discussions on the keywords of the passage afterwards in later half of our separate video. So my dear friends, I hope you have understood, that is how to read a passage properly also. And today we have discussed the very important method, that is which are the methods for solving a passage. I hope you understood all these 3 standard methods, and you can apply these methods for in our solving any type of passage afterwards. My dear friends, I put my first and second video also for better understanding of assumptions and conclusion. So I would like to request also to listen this video also for proper approach of assumptions and conclusion. So my dear friends, to conclude with, I request you, as I am putting new videos and new updates as far as UPSC examinations are concerned, then banking examinations are concerned, or staff selection commissions and other exams are concerned, for better understanding of the concepts, and then going practice. Actually, I use the proper line in our first and second video also. Wars are not win with the weapons, wars are always win with the strategies. Means your basic concepts will be very clear. Then we can have speed also and accuracy also for any type of sections like verbal reasoning, non-verbal reasoning, or say comprehension or aptitude or basic numeracy. So I would like to request you kindly subscribe our channel, that is Ravitaj Online Banking Academy, for new updates of all these terms or basic concepts. And kindly like our video also, share also video also, and comment also. Thank you, my dear friends. Good day. Take care. Thank you.